what you talking about,
I don't
bro.
think so.
If you want to get back to the conversation, ain't no, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do shit.
Come at me with that
Gonna do
nigga.
shit. You're not gonna
Come
do
at me
shit.
with. See, I said, nigga.
We can go
I'll
out back
show you
right
who the
now.
fuck I am.
We can go out back right now. I'm with it.
Anton Daniels versus Corey Holcomb. Let's get into it.
He ain't shit on Caucasian males.
Shout out to
and
the
he
chat.
ain't shit on
I'm
himself.
not gonna shit on nobody.
Now,
Shout
you
out to
shitted
the
on
chat.
black people. You shitted on motherfuckers.
I feel like I shitted on you. I feel like I shitted on you. To your face. To your face.
Be careful shitting on me, because I feel like you talking shit again.
I'm not talking shit. I'm
Well,
telling
be
you.
careful.
I'm telling you.
You shitted on me to my face, but that shit will
Corey,
lead to some danger.
Would we please stop the
Trust me.
The tough talk?
Anton Daniels versus Corey Holcomb. The sun could barely rise yesterday morning before we got this stream of Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb going absolutely at it, all right? And this wasn't friendly from the jump. The first thing that came out of Anton Daniels' mouth before he even introduced himself was criticizing Corey Holcomb and his co-host for being late to the interview. And if you know people like Anton Daniels, that's a terrible way to start the interaction. You know, people like that, when it comes to the money, all right, time is money, money is time. It feels like you don't respect them when you just casually show up late however you want to. So that was a terrible way for Corey Holcomb to start the interaction. And listen, I haven't seen anybody get exposed like this in a very, very long time. It didn't take long before we could all realize, at least I could realize, I don't really care how you people feel, but I could realize that Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels intellectually, they're not even in the same sphere. What are we talking about? I was very, very surprised by this interview. Anton Daniels came out the gate spitting facts, right? Teaching us about the history of the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. How many people really knew that the Republican Party was the original party for African American people in the United States of America? How many people really knew that it was the Republican Party that drove the Emancipation Proclamation, right? That Lincoln was a Republican, and the Republican Party was ultimately responsible for freeing the slaves in America. But for some reason, we have been convinced to just on autopilot, automatically, mentally align ourselves with the Democratic Party. So I think that Anton Daniels did an excellent job of explaining that history and breaking that down. Did Corey Holcomb understand it? No, he did not understand it, all right? But like I said, these two, they're not in the same spirit intellectually. I don't know if this was supposed to be an Anton Daniels interview or if it was supposed to be a debate, but I mean, Anton pretty much stole the show, and you could see that Corey Holcomb was just absolutely fuming about this. All of the guests who called, I guess, I don't know if they were calling in, the guests who were allowed to ask questions, right? They asked all their questions towards Anton. And to be honest, Corey Holcomb didn't have anything of value to add to this conversation. He wasn't ready to mentally spar like Anton Daniels came to mentally spar. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, you do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't.
You doing it right now.
Homie.
I was surprised that Anton Daniels said that. Okay. And that's when Corey Holcomb got mad. He got real fake mad. But I understand why Corey Holcomb was upset by the use of that language. That's never cool to say to any other man. So I am disappointed in Anton for choosing to use that language. But Anton made it clear during this interview that he did not respect Corey Holcomb. He made that clear. And he was willing to stand on however Corey Holcomb felt about it. So to that, what do you say? That's how Anton feel about it. And Anton did eventually apologize, but listen, by that time it was too late. Corey Holcomb could not let it go. Now, this is what I think about that. I understand Corey Holcomb being upset and checking Anton about this, okay? But here's the thing. Even after the apology, Corey Holcomb just could not find a way to let it go. I mean, they shook hands about it once or twice. He just could not let it go. I started to wonder, why is he so upset about this? Like, I get why, but like, why are you seem triggered? You seem emotionally trauma-based triggered about this comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, he almost turned into a childlike state defending himself specifically about this comment. Now, I understand that Anton Daniels, he's a YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? And he hasn't been invited to the Illuminati parties yet. But Corey Holcomb has. And according to Corey Holcomb, you can't make it in Hollywood unless you go to these parties and let these people play up in your backside. This is what Corey Holcomb said, okay? Now, you want me to believe that everybody has to go through this process to make it in Hollywood, but not Corey Holcomb? You different, you special, right? Because Corey Holcomb has been pretty successful in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? He's been in a few comic specials, a few movies. He not just know nobody. He's made a couple of $1 million in Hollywood. So you mean to tell me that they let you make a couple of $1 million in Hollywood, and according to you, to make it in Hollywood, you gotta let these people play in your backside, but not you. You different. You special. And so maybe that's why he was so hurt by this de-essing comment from Anton Daniels. You know what I'm saying? He said some wild stuff like, if he went to Tyler Perry's house and Tyler Perry made a move on him, then he would tear the house up. And it's like, bro, it sounds like you speaking from experience, bro. And I don't mean to speak that on this man. I feel like indirectly he has spoken that on himself. Okay, these are his words that he chose to share with the public. All right, because it was definitely a trauma. It seemed like a trauma-based response.
I used to talk about gay Hollywood. And so many people would say to me, Corey think everybody gay. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I can't do nothing about the lifestyle of men who choose that. But I do want to give you a little information. All you guys who thinking of coming out of here thinking you gonna make it, your asshole must be sacrificed. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, homie. If you ain't coming out of here to ride cowboy style at these parties,
These are his words. So according to Corey Holcomb, if you want to make it in Hollywood, you must sacrifice yourself. You must sacrifice your backside. And I don't enjoy talking about this, but I enjoy sharing the truth with the general public, mainly so we can all get out of the spirit of celebrity and idol worship. You know what I'm saying? So we can understand the true nature of the beast and snap out of this illusion. Stop worshiping celebrities. Celebrities are even worshiping themselves. And so I see a little bit of that even in this interaction between Anton and Corey Holcomb, right? Because Corey Holcomb didn't know that Anton Daniels was richer than him. When Anton said, I don't have a boss, Corey Holcomb really couldn't understand that. But for people who keep up with Anton Daniels, which I do, we understand that within reason, that man really ain't got a boss. That man really does employ people. That man really is on his knowledge. When a black man speaks, we're used to being able to find a way to poke holes in his character, right? To tear him down, to make what he's trying to express to the public less valuable, just to undermine it, right? Follow me on this. With Anton, he's kind of a rare character where you can't really do that readily, all right? From what we know about him, he comes from a two-parent home, a quality family. According to him, most of the people in his family are successfully married. That alone is different. He hasn't been out here, according to him, according to people who've been around him, sleeping around, being with a bunch of different women. He's been married to his wife from a young age. Why is that important? Because Corey Holcomb tried to poke a hole in that since he couldn't find nothing else, right? He couldn't hit him in his pockets. He couldn't big dog him and son him. He couldn't physically bully him. So what does he do next? He basically alludes to Anton having some woman who is not his wife in the back of the room. I don't believe that. I do believe he was there with a woman. I believe that was a woman he was working with. In the stream later on, Anton named this woman, and I don't know their personal life. I'm not getting into nobody's personal business, but I believe that that's one of the young lady or one of the women that he works with on the stream and he does content with. I don't think that's a woman who he's messing around on his wife with. That's just my personal opinion. But the point is, Corey Holcomb was willing to destroy this man's marriage by being offended by absolutely nothing, you know what I'm saying, about two men being unable to have an intellectual conversation. And I'm not saying I'm no better. I probably would have reacted the same way that either one of them would have reacted to that, all right? Because you can't be talking to me about, bruh, don't come at me with that, what Corey Holcomb was saying. Don't come at me with that homosexual backdoorism talk. That's what Corey said. You know what I'm saying? And also, don't be trying to big dog me up in here either. So I feel both of them in this, honestly. But I was entertained, to say the least. So in conclusion, Anton Daniels versus Corey Holcomb. Who I'm gonna give the dub to? I'm going to give the dub to Anton Daniels. I feel like if they could have had the conversation, Anton was in his bag. He was dropping a lot of intellectual knowledge, and we could have learned something from him. We could have learned something from the conversation. But we can't talk about nothing without getting to the fisticuffs. Okay, we gonna throw them hands. All right. And when it comes to the ignorance, Anton Daniels stood on business. He said what he said. He called him out for the fade if he felt the way, and Corey Holcomb turned on the fade. And as men, it is what it is. And we don't have to always resort to violence. There ain't no pressure to fight. If that's not how you feel. If that's not how you want to move. Okay. But hey, it is what it is.